our top 5 Gen X Christmas movies. Grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's go back. Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Gen X Unfiltered, the podcast.
What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Steve, Eric, good to see you.
What's up, guys?
Kelly, Steve.
Welcome back.
Glad to be here.
I'm glad you guys are wearing your Christmas garb. I am not today.
That's right. Cracking out the old Christmas gear.
I actually totally forgot, and luckily there was a spare T-shirt hanging around here.
This is why I keep a closet full of Christmas, Halloween type shirts.
We buy all this crap and forget about it and it gets buried in a closet, so it's good that we have it.
Mr. Grumpy Old Man Steve's making it sound like it's just coinkydink. No, it's planned. It's in the closet behind this set.
No,
so,
I know, but I'm just saying that we buy it and it just gets tossed in there and forgotten about, so it's good we have it because
it works.
It's easy to forget, is what I'm saying.
Today...
Well, I'm glad it's there, because I got a Christmas T-shirt.
That's how I got this one, yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Today, like the title says, we are talking about our favorite top 5 Gen X Christmas movies. Now, we know a couple quick little disclaimers. Mm-hmm. This is our list.
Yeah, this is ours. Personal opinion.
We did look online and there's a million lists that have a million different movies and different million thoughts. So we kind of took those lists and kind of discussed it ourselves and came up with our own top 5. There is some honorable mentions because, I mean, there's more than 5 good Christmas movies.
There's a lot of good Christmas movies, it's hard to narrow it down. And it's some sort of consensus between the three of us.
Yeah.
Like, that's a whole other ball of wax,
well,
too.
Because
we have to agree on this? Oh, my God.
Well, this list kind of has, like, because obviously it's more, like, it's nostalgia. And it's, sort of that kind of thing. So some of them might be, obvious picks, and some of them you guys might be like...
Well, and that's sort of, how do you rate what's a great Christmas movie? Is it based on, like, box office numbers or something like that? Or is it just stuff that we enjoy watching? Like, there's a whole bunch of criteria that could...
Well, for me...
tweak a list.
Okay, before we even get into that, for me, the criteria is just sort of the nostalgia feel. And I would say movies that I watch every year. Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at my favorite stuff that I watch on a regular basis, regardless of how popular they are or whatever. Yeah. It's kind of irrelevant to what's a good quote-unquote movie for me.
I don't care what the box office does.
No.
I'm not the one getting rich, so I don't care.
No, exactly, yeah.
And the box office is wrong a lot of the times, too, right?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the list that we kind of looked up, we were sort of like, oh, maybe we can find a cool list somewhere, but it was all just based on, like, sort of box office numbers and stuff like that, which, like, that doesn't really...
There's also some really good movies that become popular, like, after they get released on home video.
Oh, it happens all the time. Yeah. Like, if you kind of look at, like, what wins, like, Best Oscar and stuff like that, you go back and, like, how the hell did that win Best Oscar versus all the ones that either didn't get nominated or lost? It's like...
Well, here's another quick little disclaimer as well, is that
Lots of those today.
Well, I just like to make it very clear...
So they get flamed in the comments?
Oh, boy.
Well, I mean, people don't know. I mean, some people may not listen this far, but I just like to make it clear just so people can know where we're coming from, that we're not delusional, which sometimes we are, but, But this list also is, are they technically Gen X? I don't know, but they were movies that we grew up with, and we are Gen X, so it's that part of the Gen X era, I guess.
Yeah. We're focusing, for our experience, like 80s, 90s.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right, that's kind of the...
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing good came up before 1980. Nothing came up after 1999.
There's a very small window of good times.
I kind of agree with that. That's good. So this list is in no particular order. We didn't rank them because I think that's kind of impossible.
Yeah. This is just 5.
Impossible.
It's like trying to rank your children.
Yeah.
But everyone has a favorite children.
Of course.
Child, admit it.
Don't lie. I mean, I think people would say they have a favorite child depending on the day. That's fair.
That's true. Trying to change like the wind blows. It's like this one, then that one. This one, then that one.
But
I know from my parents, I was always the shining star, obviously.
I do believe that there's... I don't care what... they won't admit it, and that's fine. I get it because it feels wrong, but you have a favorite child. You love them both equally, but there's one that you connect with a little more.
Oh, I'm sure there's always that, yeah.
Probably.
That was me. No, that's my sister,
obviously.
100%. My sister's the favorite child. Anywho.
Uh-oh.
Before we
going
get
down
too
a
deep
different
into
path
this,
here.
this is not like a Dr. Phil episode. Let's just get back to the...
I'll talk to my therapist about that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so number 1, I'm just going to spitball this from the list. You guys don't even know what's coming out number 1?
No.
You know the list. But
well, we know
which
kind of the
one I'm
list.
gonna say.
Yeah, we worked on it, but you decided... Kelly's going to just wing it here.
But I'm ready. What is it?
All right. We're going to go with a classic, Home Alone.
Oh, Home Alone.
I've already watched that.
Yeah, I watch that
I've watched that this year already.
This year?
I've watched 1 and 2.
Whoa.
I love 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I which one I like better. I mean...
I like both of them.
I think 1's a way stronger movie, to be honest, than 2.
It is. I just like 2 because it's in New York at Christmas, and that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
They did a good job with 2 as well. didn't totally, it wasn't like a carbon copy of the first one, but
Yeah.
we're talking about number one, so either way.
So that movie, I don't have Google Facts in front of me, but I know that movie was like, what, 1990? Like really early 90s.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
1990.
1990.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we were youngins, and we were just a little bit older than Kevin McAllister, so I think we kind of related.
That's right. I think
in
we all
that
related
sense.
to that.
Oh my god!
Kevin, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted all of his like micro machines, his little walkie-talkie, not the walkie-talkie, his tape recorder thing he had.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, and his BB gun, all the stuff Kevin had. I'm like, I need all of this.
That's
I'm
right.
gonna-
The pellet gun he stole
Yeah.
from his brother and stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
going to ask a question, though.
Yeah.
Why do you think, or what makes, if you have an answer, what makes that one of your favorite movies? Like, what is it about that movie? Because it's kind of like, I don't know, like, what makes that
Yeah, that's
movie?
actually a really good question. I mean, I think it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kevin McAllister, so like Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, and Daniel Stern are
That's true.
they're great in the three
They
of
are.
them, whether they're on screen together or whatever. Like it's a funny movie, but it is like it's kind of sappy, but it's not over the top either.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that was maybe why I really liked it. It wasn't too like emotional or like sappy and like, you know, it's just more of a comedy, really.
Do you
Yeah.
think, like, okay, you guys are boys.
Okay.
Yes.
Correct.
Just confirming that. I don't want to
Correct.
gender you inappropriately, but you guys are boys. And Kevin McAllister was a boy in the movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like I said, you're only a couple years older, but was it kind of like, so when you watched it when you were younger,
Yeah.
were you kind of like, oh man, that Kevin, he has a sweet deal.
Oh yeah, yeah.
How fun
Yeah.
is
Cool
that?
house. Like the house is really cool.
But I just mean
and-
like being left alone like that.
Oh,
and,
I
like,
think so. You're probably like, oh man, like imagine
Yeah.
that being home alone
Yeah.
like that and having all this cool stuff and like you know
His
to
first
play
couple,
with and yeah,
exactly. His first couple days of being home alone were like amazing. Like as a kid
Yeah.
watching that, where he got his own pizza,
yeah.
TV to himself, had like the big ice cream
That
sundae.
giant sundae he made,
exactly.
yeah.
As a kid, this is like a dream, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Well, especially like we all had siblings, so
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
you know, not to the extreme of like Buzz and all that stuff in the movie,
Yeah.
but you know,
Yeah.
so it's like, oh, no siblings, no parents to tell you what to do, just freedom, jump
Yeah.
on the bed and all this stuff.
And we all kind of had that like crazy uncle.
Yeah, that's
What
right.
was his uncle
Yeah.
who?
Oh,
Frank.
Frank,
Frank,
yeah.
oh.
Look
God.
what you did, you little
Little
jerk.
jerk.
One of my favorite lines ever.
That is great. Yeah.
And he's like one of those characters, like he's obviously throughout the movie-ish, but not a lot, just the beginning and kind of
No,
like
no,
whatever.
yeah, he just has a
but
few,
he's,
yeah.
he's funny every time he opens, because he's so grumpy and just
Well,
like...
just like a jerk.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he thinks he's
He is-
funny with like the dad jokes, but he's
Yeah.
kind of a bully too.
He's
Like,
a bit of a
he's
bully.
terrible.
He's definitely like a dick.
yeah.
Yeah. He's
But
super,
whoever-
like,
I don't know the actors, but he did a great job. And then even like the Catherine
Oh, she's
O'Hara,
great. What's
John
his
Hurt,
name?
is that the dad? John Hurt, is that his name?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
And he, you know, so like just the whole
He was in
cast.
Sopranos,
Yeah. That's some of the jokes you see is how did Kevin's dad afford that house? And they cut to him as the dirty
Yeah.
cop in
Yeah.
Sopranos. It's
There
like,
it is.
ah.
Well,
Yeah.
here, before I forget, I want to insert this little fun fact. Did
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if it's like fact or people are guessing or if they actually say it, I'm not sure, but the mom in Home Alone, Catherine O'Hara or whatever, she's like 35 in that movie.
Yeah.
Get out.
I know, I
We're
saw that.
older than
Yeah.
her.
We're older than the parents from Home
Like-
Alone.
Oh yeah,
Way
like,
older.
Yeah, like,
Jesus.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
You see a
Yeah.
lot of those movies. They say that now. Like a lot of those actors were like in their 30s in a lot of these older movies. Where it's like, what? I thought they were like
Yeah.
50.
And Catherine O'Hara is a good Canadian actress. So
That's right. SCTV. Shout out Schitt's Creek.
She's
Yeah.
really funny.
Weird opinion
She's
though.
great, yeah.
After Home Alone 2, is Catherine O'Hara like is her character one of the worst moms in cinema history?
Is that like a question that's in the universe? Or you
No,
just asking
I was asking right now. 'cause,
I don't
like,
think
No,
so.
no, I don't think so.
Because
No?
she did
Yeah.
everything she could to get. It's not like she's like, oh well, we left Kevin. Cool.
Well, but-
yeah,
the
and they
funny
didn't like
she
abandon
forgot-
him. Like it was the way they do it, at least in the movie.
Yeah.
It's an accident. Like there's
Yeah.
no
the
there's
first
no
one's an
blood.
accident, right?
Well, both of them.
That's true. The second one's not on. The second one's not on purpose.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like they don't. She didn't abandon him on Christmas, so that's
No.
why I would say.
Okay.
I mean, the second
I was just
one,
thinking the fact that it happened twice.
Well-
Does that make her like
but then
a
Eric,
negligent parent?
But then Eric, there wouldn't be a second movie.
oh, right.
That's right.
I think it's my problem with the second movie. Is like, how did this happen twice?
But I also think in the second movie, Kevin was a little bit more like okay to be alone. Like he'd done it once, right? So he's kind of just like, I don't know. But I don't think she's a bad mom because she did everything she could to get there.
That's true. That's true.
And they make up at the end. Like Kevin, you know, well, it's the
Yeah.
same thing. Like Kevin hates his family. And
Yeah,
then at the
yeah.
end, he just misses them. So it's like a good
Yeah.
comeback story, you know?
And it was both situations were realistic as well. How he got missed.
Yeah, I forget in number 2. The wrong plane.
Number 2, he's following who he thinks is his dad,
that's
so he's
right.
just falling from behind based on the jacket, and then
he
gets on the plane
fall.
and the tickets fall.
Yeah.
So they were like realistic. It wasn't completely like
There's a lot of circumstances that make it more realistic.
Like with the power going out at the house on both times, so the clocks reset. So there's in a mass rush. There's like 15, 20 people.
It's actually the older sister's fault. She miscounted Kevin.
Well, that's the
thing.
The
first one,
and
the second one.
No, the second one, it's his fault. Really,
he follows the wrong guy.
He's trying to play with his little talk boy and change the batteries.
Yeah.
That whole movie is based around that stupid toy because they were selling it then.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
It's really just a big
it's a commercial.
It's a commercial for that talk boy.
But
I wanted it so bad after that. I never had one, but
no, I'm gonna say like the first movie, the whole burglar thing was, I liked that sort of story better. In the second one, it was just kind of lame. That abandoned house, and they finally. Like,
yeah, that was weak.
That's right. He goes to his uncle's place and stuff. Yeah.
And I mean, then there's the eternal question, which it's already come up again. I've seen it online, but if oh my God, Piers Morgan, if he's the weird pigeon lady.
Oh, I've seen it a bunch of times.
Apparently,
oh my God,
he gets so angry about that.
That's
He's like,
hilarious.
I am not her.
I am not the pigeon lady from Home Alone 2.
But it kind of looks like
they have a similar
They do
look.
have a
They could be like siblings.
Yeah,
he could. Yeah,
but it's just hilarious that he gets so upset. I don't know if that he actually gets upset over it. But
I feel like he does. He seems like he's kind of an angry guy.
He doesn't seem like he has much of a sense of humor. But
No.
But yeah, so I mean, Home Alone is definitely one that every year I have to watch.
Oh,
and even though like it's like, but I think I still watch it because of the nostalgia of watching it like back then. Like it was the shit back then.
Oh, it was huge. Like Macaulay Culkin, like he was a sensation. Like after Uncle Buck and then Home Alone, and he had a bunch of movies there. Like that run,
like 5 years there or so. He was like all over the place.
And then his parents stole all his money.
Yeah,
Damn.
It's nice to see him come out the other side now. He's like married and has a family, and it's nice to see he came through it okay. And his brother Kieran Culkin's doing really.
Patch, but.
Yeah, I remember reading stuff, but I don't know exactly what was going on. But he definitely just kind of was out of the public eye. Like
two more points before we move on to the next movie.
All right, yeah,
ready.
Talk about Home Alone, yes.
Yes, no. Just two more things before I want to talk about.
Oh, okay.
No, just because it made me remember. But a couple of years ago, we all dressed up as Home Alone characters.
Oh, for Halloween,
They were really good costumes.
Steve and I were the Wet Bandits.
And I needed somebody to be, so
we were
I'm like,
Marvin Harry.
I'll be Macaulay Culkin.
That was one of my favorite pictures ever. Is you as Macaulay Culkin? Oh my God.
Kelly decided she bought a really crappy wig and decided she was going to try and cut it. We'll put a picture in here for sure. We'll find it. It's definitely on Instagram or something somewhere.
Their costumes were really, really good. That's what I tend to do because we go to like a Halloween party for like mutual friends. So like they'll usually have like some sort of theme costume, and if I can't think of anything, I'll try and jump on the theme. And I was a last minute insert to that theme.
It was fine, except for there was the wig. They're trying to cut it yourself. You try to cut the bangs. I was like, be careful.
But it made for good.
It's hard to fix a wig if you cut it.
Everybody laughed.
It could not be fixed.
Everybody laughed.
So,
but we'll put a
picture in here so you guys can see it. If you're not watching here, we even put it up on our Gen X Unfiltered Instagram as well.
Oh yeah.
Check us out there, guys. Instagram.
Yeah, please.
Send us a DM. Say hi.
Okay, but last thing is I'm going to put you guys on the spot again.
Oh, good.
I love being put on the spot.
It's fun though because it's more organic.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
So you have to pick one. What's one of your favorite scenes in that movie?
Oh, geez. From Home Alone, favorite scene?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. I'm trying to think now. Just think of the whole movie.
Or like
I'm trying
part
to think,
of the movie, or like, because the movie goes through kind of like arcs.
No, I know. I'm just trying to think of my favorite scene.
One of my favorite parts, which is really random and weird, is the part like before the burglars are a thing, when he's home alone for those first like day or two, and he goes out shopping, gets the toothpaste.
Yeah,
he has to act more like an adult than a kid.
And he does the shaving, and he's like doing the laundry. Like I love that. I don't know why. It's just such a cute little.
I think the whole little jerk scene's pretty funny too.
And
then
funny.
when it's what's the kid his cousin's name? Fuller.
Buzz.
No, that's his
Fuller?
brother.
Fuller, what's the bed?
And he's sitting with a can of pop. He gives him that weird smile. That's pretty funny, yeah.
That whole opening chaotic
The kid knows he's going to piss the bed. He's like, here we go.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Kevin.
What about you, Eric?
I think, honestly, it's like him versus the Wet Bandits.
Yeah.
When he starts, like, because is really ingenious. All of the setup he has there, like how well thought out it is that they come into the front door, they follow the micro machines.
And it's like basic stuff.
Yeah.
but he
That's the
gets
thing. He's
them,
not doing anything super crazy where it's like there's no way a kid would. The zip line stuff, whatever, but
I thought the zip line would be super fun. When I was a kid, he'd been going. He zip lined from like the house to his tree house. I was like, oh my god, I want a zip line.
My only thing with that is like that zip line is basically like a straight line.
Well, okay.
There's zero chance that kid's gonna go across it. There's not enough angle to it.
It's a movie.
Anyway,
the physics don't add up.
I digress, but the physics are questionable. Another great scene is Marv screaming with the trench on his face. Just that yell.
With the what?
His scream with the trench on his face.
Daniel Stern's scream is fantastic.
Yeah, that is funny.
He does it, busts out again when he gets electrocuted.
Yeah.
Does he get electrocuted? Is that in one as well when he turns to the skeleton?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
I also
lots of great memes about that, too.
I also like the underlying story of Kevin and the scary neighbor.
Yeah, the old guy next door. Yeah, so that's why
really
it does work, because it does have a heart to the story, too. It's not just like a comedy. This kid just beats up. You ever see the clips on YouTube where they add blood?
Oh my god!
Like when all the scenes where the guys are getting hit by like the paint cans and stuff.
I mean, realistically, like the paint cans to the head, they're dead.
Yeah.
So
they have some...
someone took all those clips and added like blood and stuff.
Yeah,
it's not good. It's funny, but it's like
the paint can to the head, the iron to the head, all of those headshots. These guys are dead.
Maybe this is where my fear of home invasions comes from.
Maybe
light bulb moment.
Oh boy,
it could be.
Okay.
Because I remember that part being like a little like unnerving as a kid, like them coming in the house and blah blah.
Well,
like,
it's scary.
Yeah. Oh my god, Home Alone. I gotta talk about that in therapy too.
There we go. Add that to the list.
Damn.
Shit.
Home Alone burglars.
I have a real fear for home invasions. It's awkward and weird. I don't know why. Anyway, want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, let's go. Next one.
All right, let me just go through my list in my head and do the spin the wheel to pick the next one. I don't even remember the list. Just kidding. I remember the list.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to talk about Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
This movie was like 1988. Why do I remember these random facts, but I don't remember, what I ate yesterday? It's weird.
I don't know.
It's good you remember it, though.
1988. So I remember my first introduction to this movie was my mom. My mom loved this movie right from the start. And every year it's a movie that my mom watches, and every year I watch it.
Did your mom have a thing for Mr. Chase?
No, she just thought because, here's from my... Sort of, you guys talk about your experience. My experience is like when I grew up, I had Christmases like that, like the extended family and the grandparents.
Police showing up.
No, but just
your dad kidnapping his boss.
No, but just like the whole like craziness of like all these people that love each other, but like it's just crazy Christmas stuff. Right?
No, and that's all the holidays, because you're bringing together your family and stuff. But that's the dynamics at any family Christmas are always interesting.
That is where my nostalgia comes in, and I think that's where my mom's nostalgia comes in. But and it's just a funny movie. But what about you guys? Like, why do you think that that's a...
Yeah, I mean, I remember when it came out. I didn't see it in the theater when it came out. I remember like friends going to see it and telling me about it. And I don't remember the first time I saw it, to be honest. It must have been on VHS at some point, renting it, I guess. But
probably.
I just remember it coming out and just, I don't know. I remember seeing like the other National Lampoon's movies. My dad was, I remember him sort of introducing me to some of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just remember it always just being hilarious.
I used, when I was younger and watched it with my parents, I'd always, when you used to watch movies with your parents and like a weird scene would come on and you'd just be like,
cringe.
The lingerie scene.
The lingerie scene and the her getting out of the pool scene. Because I'm like, that Dad's really thinking about now that you're older. But I just remember being like,
Yeah.
Awkward.
I know.
It's the best scene when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Well, if you're a boy, maybe. But for me, it was
no
just
lines,
awkward.
Yeah. A young Johnny Galecki.
That guy's rich now.
Yeah, Johnny Galecki, Juliette Lewis,
who would have thought out of that whole cast, like he'd be the biggest star.
Yeah.
Thanks to
30 years later.
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
But
I've never actually watched an episode of that show.
That movie also gave me, like, when I say anxiety, I mean like not anxiety, but like the whole like Christmas light thing, trying to light that up, and it was the damn light switch. I'm like, it's the light switch.
Anyone who owns a Christmas tree or has does any sort of exterior illumination, as they refer to it in the movie, those things are a pain. Those
lights,
pain in the ass.
Christmas lights are exactly. Huge pain in the ass.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's like tangling them or trying to find the burned out one.
Exactly, they're always something with
everything
them.
that Chevy just goes through with those Christmas lights. Someone has in real life as well.
Oh yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. The whole movie you can relate to. It's just an exact the Christmas dinner going to shit. The crazy
cousin.
Uncle. Everyone has that. It's just obviously this is to the extreme, but you can relate to everything.
Oh yeah.
Trying to get the presents, even him trying to hide the presents, then finding the present from like Valentine's
That
Day,
was
like
the-
1983
Yeah.
or
Here's
something
the
like
thing
that.
for me, that scene was just really unnecessary. I hate that scene. In that movie, I fast forward that scene every time.
where he's locked in the attic
It's
and reminiscing.
stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
But
I
it's
get
sort of-
And to
it.
stay warm, he's dressed up in like an old like woman's house coat.
Yeah,
and
he's
But
stuff.
I
just
get
find all
it.
the old clothes,
I
yeah.
get it because it ties in the whole reason why he wanted to have the
And well,
good old fashioned
yeah.
Christmas.
that's the thing. It's like a key scene because it's the aunt and uncle that are
Yeah.
miserable and old and forgetful, but it's them and when he's
Yeah.
9-year-old boy and remembering that he wants to try and recapture that
Exactly.
Christmas, and then when
That's-
he's getting that warm fuzzy tears.
Yeah.
Boom.
What's her name from Everyone Loves Raymond?
He gets dropped back into reality.
Opens up the
Yeah. And I feel
Technically, he
like
probably would have killed his mother-in-law
Well,
coming
yeah.
down full weight on her like that. But
Yeah.
again, whatever.
Yeah. We'll leave that aside for now.
and I think the whole like his father-in-law like razzing him
Yeah,
about shit
yeah.
like that's something that most our dads can relate to.
Well, most
having,
married,
like-
everyone has married has a father-in-law, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's
It's a-
dynamics there, and then with the father-in-law and the father as well,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
And the one thing I related to a lot in that movie was the scenes where they showed the two kids who were like had to share a room.
I was thinking the same
I was
thing,
like,
yeah.
I had to do that all the time with my sister, sleep on the floor on an air mattress in some random room, and
Or even then the best is the grandfather sleeping in Rusty's room,
Yeah.
and he's got I don't know what, it's like some sort of like gas
Swimsuit.
model or something
Yeah.
on
Oh,
the
yeah.
poster, and he's just lying there just staring at it.
I mean, but that's the thing. You're right. Like literally every scene has some sort of like the Christmas. So in my family, Christmas Eve was always the big thing. Like we would have get-togethers with like 20, 30 people, and so the chaos of Christmas Eve definitely, obviously not to that extreme, but
Yeah,
like I could
but-
totally relate. But at the same time, in the moments, I'm sure like my mom and my dad were just like,
Yeah.
"OMG, get me
Oh,
out of here."
I'm-
But I guarantee you, if my mom could go back 30 years and have those again, she wouldn't a heartbeat.
Well, I think anybody would.
I mean,
right?
I would too,
No,
yeah.
but anybody would. That's the whole thing,
Yeah.
right? You can't ever recapture the glory
No,
of the
you
old one. You
can't.
need to
No.
make your new, and that's sort of I think what the movie is about. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
Clark's not going to redo
No.
his 9-year-old Christmas as an adult.
Yeah.
As much as he wants to, it's like no, you need to embrace that things change and
But
make your new traditions.
It's hard.
You can't
because-
just keep chasing the
But it's
nostalgia
hard.
because
Past and
you'll
try to-
never live up to it.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
but it's hard because you have those memories and feelings of
Well,
those
no,
things,
and that's
right?
no, and that's exactly it. But it's like Billy Joel says, right? Tomorrow, what is it? The good old days weren't always so good, and
Yeah.
tomorrow ain't as bad as it seems.
Well, it's like like
Good quote.
That's right, but it's true. You look back on
Yeah.
these,
Yeah.
because as a kid, you look back and every Christmas was perfect.
Yeah.
oh,
everyone
yeah.
was happy. You got every toy you could
You
have
forget
ever.
a lot of this
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Or you
weren't,
didn't
you
know.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Mom and
was
grandma.
having smoking a cigarette in the
Yeah.
bathroom, stressed as shit because
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
mom's riding her ass, and
Yeah.
so as a kid, you just see it as and
Yeah.
you remember
Exactly.
it through rose-colored glasses.
And Chevy Chase finds that out, right? He asks his dad, like, how'd you get through all those
Yeah, and it's
Christmases?
like Jack Daniels,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
so that's it. You can't ever recapture the glory
No.
of your past. You just
Yeah.
need to make your own. Clark needed to focus on making the Griswold
yeah.
Clark Griswold Christmas, not
Yeah, but it's
Not
I mean,
his dad's Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's hard, and I think like that's the whole point of the movie is like you
Yeah.
realize that. But yeah, it is hard because like I said, I would go back in a heartbeat to Christmas when I was a kid. It's not that Christmas now isn't good.
Yeah.
It's just very
I
very
think you're saying
different.
Christmas today sucks.
No, it's just
Just joking.
different.
No, it's
and
exactly-
it's
it's
like
different.
Oh, it's totally different.
Yeah.
well,
right
it's
there.
also different because we're adults, so we're
Well,
like in charge of Christmas, sort of, right? Like
No,
as
it's-
kids, you
yeah.
wake up and
you just wake up and play with your toys
play
once
with
you
your
open
toys.
them and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
and like you said, you don't see grandma smoking a cigarette in the bathroom because the turkey didn't work out.
No, it's
Yeah.
because there's all the family dynamics of mothers
Yeah.
and daughters and
Yeah.
fathers and sons and husbands and we as a kid you're not really exposed to that. Like I said, when all that's happening,
Yeah.
you're
Oh, yeah.
in
You're
the bedroom
playing with your
toys
with
or
your cousins or your
You-
toys, whatever.
yeah, you're
right?
running around just doing whatever.
You
yeah.
just
Yeah.
remember the the fun parts and
Yeah.
stuff. But okay, so before we have to do the same thing with this movie, do you have a favorite scene? I mean, there's a lot in this movie, but one that
Oh,
always
yeah.
like when you look, you just it makes you smile.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's got to be his freak out
Yeah,
when he
Oh
loses
my
when he
God.
loses his mind.
because to
Yeah.
me,
Chevy Chase in his freakouts, like the Wally World
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
Well,
and in European, all of them.
but I think in the Christmas one, it encompasses what everybody feels like at
Yeah.
Christmas, and he's just
Yeah.
getting it out. And you almost us sitting there watching it, you're just like, because you feel the relief
Yeah.
from it.
Did you ever see the TikToks that explain like how they got through that scene? Like how Chevy remembers his lines?
Yeah, they had the family had the lines on their they were wearing cue cards basically.
Exactly.
Oh.
They all wearing cue cards on their
So
their
whenever
sweaters.
it shows him
Yeah.
the camera with the backs to we see the family's backs to the camera.
Yeah.
They're all holding up cue cards or whatever. I saw
So Chevy could remember all of his lines. Yeah. It's a big rant.
And you have to rant it, like you can't pause. It has to be like a blah 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 blah.
No, and it's, I mean, what is it when Santa slides his fat ass down the chimney, he's gonna find the jolliest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house.
Well, and then
holy shit, where's the Tylenol?
Yeah,
but then
it's fantastic.
But then they have to add in the comedic factor of her hands are right on his nuts the whole time.
That's a different.
That's scene.
That's when the cops break in. That's when the SWAT
That's
team.
not when he's doing his thing.
No.
No. Stop. Don't laugh at me. Okay, wait, hold on.
Sorry.
Let me just talk this out. Hold on. I thought that when that happened, it was like the freeze, and then
no, that's when the SWAT team shows up.
I know, but I didn't. Never mind. My bad.
No. Yeah. No, they're two same room, two totally different scenes.
I'm not laughing at you. I was just laughing at the suggestion that, like, after his freak out, she just grabs him in the nuts for no reason.
No, I thought
a little handy would probably bring him down a bit.
No.
Relax, Chevy.
Wait, let me finish. I thought that her hand was there, and then he started the rant.
No.
Okay.
They're two totally different scenes.
I have bad memory. Okay, I'm old. All right, Eric, what was your favorite scene in the movie?
It's got to be the Todd and Margot scene where the carpet's wet.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so the whole scene is set up because Chevy's putting up his Christmas lights, right?
Yeah.
He pulls the eaves trough, and the ice slides off out of his eaves troughs and through Todd and Margot's window.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
And the ice goes through their window, smashes their stereo, and so they come home that night, and they see their stereo all smashed, and the carpet's all wet. And we get the classic line.
That's right.
Why is the carpet wet?
Was the carpet wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot.
That's like a classic line.
Julie Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah.
She's great in that.
But then there's the scene where the lights come on.
Oh,
there's that too.
Is that your favorite scene?
That's a funny scene where they're all kind of just like clunking around and falling.
Yeah.
And like, what the hell's going on?
Or even when Chevy's cutting down the tree in his front yard, and they're like, "Hey, Griswold, tree's kind of big. Isn't where you going to put it?" He's like, "Bend over, I'll show you."
Because I think
you got a lot of dirt talking to me like Griswold. And he's like, "I wasn't talking to you."
Oh, that's
like,
Julia.
He's talking to the wife.
Oh boy,
they did a good job of making the stereotypical, like what we call the dinks, the double income kids.
The
stereotypical,
with the fancy stereo
what
system.
they call them, yuppies.
Yuppies. They're like typical 80s yuppies.
Yeah, and their little silver.
They're like
suits.
they're like silver like running suits
and
or
they're
whatever.
super uptight. Yeah, like after they came back from their workout, like he wanted to have sex with his wife, and she's like,
"That's right.
Not till you shower."
That's right. She's like, yeah.
All right, you guys ready to move on to the next one?
Absolutely.
Yes.
This one might be controversial, and I have a lot of opinions on this one because I just watched it for the first time last week.
Whoa.
I can't believe you've never seen it before.
Yeah, well, it's controversial. You know why? But Die Hard.
Oh,
yes, I forgot how good Die Hard was.
What movie were you watching? Because it was literally the worst movie ever. First of all,
you're just wrong.
Yeah.
You're so wrong there.
First of all, for like half the movie, I thought I was thinking of Lethal Weapon, not Die Hard.
I think that's what your problem was. You're thinking of the wrong movie.
Yeah, at some point you're like, you mentioned about Mel Gibson. Like, what are you? I don't even know what the hell you're talking about
Well, okay. I know you guys have a lot of good things to say about this movie. First of all, is it a Christmas movie? I don't know. The whole thing's based around a Christmas office party. So to me, it's a movie you watch around Christmas time.
Yeah.
I mean, you can watch it whenever, but it's Christmas feels. So it's a Christmas movie, I would say.
Well, again, it all takes place at Christmas. Yeah. It's a Christmas party that's happening in Nakatomi Towers.
Yeah.
Or Plaza, whatever the hell it is. But so, I mean, there's a whole lot of debate as to whether or not this is a Christmas movie, but I think it's fantastic.
Well, I'm going to just say before you guys actually give the intelligent thoughts on the movie.
Okay.
I'm not sure about intelligent.
Well,
but better
because I'm probably going to annoy a lot of people. But anyway, it's fine. First time I watched it, I get it. It's a classic, action movie from the 80s. Or is it 80s or 90s?
80s.
80s.
Yeah.
It's like a Bruce Willis, big badass, whatever, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's right.
But, like, how can a movie be, like, 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 15 minutes of him just trying to kill all these terrorists with no shoes? Dude had no shoes.
That's right.
And, like, cigarettes and, like, random stuff he found from people he killed. Like, it was dumb. It was a lot of stuff. Like, it didn't need to be that long.
No, I don't know.
Really
I mean, I didn't find it dragged. Actually, I thought it still. Yeah, it doesn't. I didn't find it dragged at all. I thought it was good pacing and it went by fast. And I don't know. I still really like it.
Same.
Why do you like it?
Really like how long should it take him to kill 12 terrorists?
Yeah.
But is he really killing 12? Like, nobody's really killing 12 terrorists with, like, their bare hands.
Well, he didn't use bare hand. He got guns.
Yeah.
Okay, but not at first.
He got one gun. He got bigger guns. And he got C4.
That's exactly
and
it. Like, he has upgraded his weapon as the movie went on.
Yeah, he did kill other guys and get their weapons.
Is he living out your, like, fantasy or something?
Well, not exactly. I don't want to have to kill a bunch of terrorists in the building, but seeing how it all went down was pretty amazing.
I mean, okay,
And he was just a good because he's like kind of fast talking, his attitude and stuff like that too.
Quick wit.
Like, yeah. He's got that Chicago. What is it? No, New York.
Exactly, and like
Got that,
he has inserts humor here and there. Even after he killed one of the terrorists, he sent him down in the elevator with the sign on his chest. He
That's
said,
right.
"Ho ho ho! Now I have a machine gun." Come on,
Yeah.
that's hilarious. It's hilarious and clever.
Yeah.
okay. I mean,
Alan Rickman was fantastic too.
Alan Rickman,
I don't-
yeah.
maybe it's because, and again, I'm sure there's lots of ladies out there who love it for Bruce Willis. I don't know, but like maybe it's because
My aunt did.
Maybe it's because I don't have a lot of testosterone and I don't get the whole like, yeah, let's fight and kill and whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like whatever. It was fine, but like I'm probably never gonna watch it again.
I think I'm gonna watch it more.
Okay,
Definitely.
wait.
so.
Then you guys can say because I don't have an iota of one. But your favorite scene then?
Ooh, that's tough. I don't even know, to be honest. I don't know if I could pick one scene that was. A lot of the honestly, some of the funny stuff was with the limo driver Argyle.
Yeah, actually,
Oh, Argyle was
part of
great.
the
He
limos
was
in the
fun.
limo.
Yeah.
Like it was just really random stuff.
he was funny. He made the movie for me. If there was no what is he? Isn't that a
Argyle.
sweater? Argyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
it wasn't,
He was comic relief.
if it
Yeah.
wasn't for Sweater Boy, I would really not like it.
No,
But when
really?
he
But
popped
no.
up, I was like, okay, that's cool.
No, but I think Rizzo was fantastic in it. Like just the character he plays, John McClane. Like it's just a good. Yeah, I just really liked it.
Yeah.
Just kind of like your average guy. Like I mean, he's obviously a cop and stuff like that, but just kind of like a regular. Like he wasn't like super jacked up like superhero type.
He wasn't a Stallone or a Schwarzenegger
Yeah,
where he was like all jacked.
exactly. Yeah,
Exactly.
like I thought it
I-
was just a more relatable
Yeah.
hero.
I really thought I was watching Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, I don't know how you. I don't even know how you.
I don't know.
There was no Mel Gibson, no Danny
Were you wondering where
Glover.
Danny Glover was at some
Well,
point?
that's what I asked. I was like,
I know
wait.
maybe you got Mel Gibson and Bruce Willis confused, but like
Or what's his name? Original Val John.
that's how
I
the
don't know.
original little
I was-
Carl
Do you
Winslow,
want to
with
know
Dwayne
what,
Johnson in there
you
too.
want to know what made me click in that it wasn't Lethal Weapon? Was
That's
because,
original Val
the
John.
name of the movie?
I said the wrong guy. Oh boy.
or that I wasn't watching what I thought was whatever, was because I remember this one scene in Lethal Weapon. My mom used to watch them all the time. There's one scene in Lethal Weapon. I don't even know what it is, where it's from, or if it's actually a scene, or I'm just making it up. But was there like a trailer and they were like jumped out of a trailer, it blew up or something? I don't know. But I remember that one scene with Mel Gibson and his hair flying, and I was like, why is this whole movie in a building? When does Mel Gibson show up? Don't try and figure it out.
Yeah,
'cause
I
it's
know.
probably
I'm just
not a
trying
real
to. I
scene.
haven't seen Lethal Weapon in years.
But anyway,
and there's more than one, so
I would
don't-
watch Lethal Weapon over whatever.
Maybe if you need to
Die
watch
Hard.
that, we do a little deep dive in Lethal Weapon.
Is Lethal Weapon a Christmas movie? Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's more
overall,
debate.
yes, I would say Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Not one that I'm going to put in my.
No, I would definitely say
Christmas-
it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas party. It sort of plays into the movie. Like
Yeah.
obviously the theme of the movie isn't really Christmas per
No.
se, but
No.
I think I can see where it's more Christmas
Yeah.
than not.
You know why maybe that movie wasn't really stimulating my brain too much? Was for me.
I don't know.
You tell
yeah,
us.
yeah.
For me, the whole entire movie was like one location. That
Yeah.
was boring to me. I got bored. I'm like, let's move on. Let's have other story. But it was all in that dark building. So I think maybe that.
But there was so much like suspense and stress and build up.
Yeah.
Like, were they
But
going
was
to
it
find
really?
him? Oh, yeah.
Did you know that he? Did you really not?
What
think
about that
he was-
scene where like Hans Gruber and Bruce Willis, they're like facing off against each other?
Yeah.
But
And they psychologically trick each other.
exactly.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah,
but,
Hans
like-
Gruber drops his accent and starts talking like he's an American.
Exactly.
That's the magic of Alan Rickman.
And then Bruce Willis
Rest
is
in
like,
peace.
I'm not sure who this guy is. So he looks at the directory by the elevator, starts asking him questions about like
Yeah.
what office he's in, like what's his name and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Smart.
fine, but
Yeah.
like again, I just needed more variety in that movie. I think.
Nah.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Agree or disagree. It's just not my thing.
Agree to disagree.
That's
It's
right.
not my thing. Chicken.
Kelly
wing.
got outranked on this list, on this one.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I mean, I know it's a very controversial movie, and it's like very.
Yeah,
like,
let us know in the comments. Let us,
Is it
send us a
Christmas?
message.
Is it
What do
not?
you guys
What do you
Is it a
think?
Christmas movie? Because
Just-
that is a highly contested
Yeah.
topic.
Don't crap on me too much because I don't like it. It is what it is. I appreciate everybody who does, but not my jam. I mean, I wasn't really like. I mean, Bruce Willis, like,
Nah,
he's a
that's
good
all right.
actor,
Each
but
their own.
whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
want to go into the next
Yeah,
one?
let's do
Ready?
it.
This is number 4, right?
Number 4. Okay, let me get my spinny little memory. Okay, A Christmas Story.
Oh, this
Christmas
one's a
Story.
classic.
This was a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was my mom, like, because again, it's like our parents.
It's our parents.
age, like
Yeah, exactly.
when they were
Their
kids.
their
Like-
childhoods.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think the movie takes place in like the 40s or 50s.
50s?
I
The
think
50s, yeah.
So it's like our parents
but
growing
it came
up.
out
Yeah.
in the 80s, so it's
Yeah.
like a
It's a nostalgia piece for
yeah.
our parents.
It's like a 30-year look back for
Yeah.
like basically
Yeah.
it's like,
It's like us looking at Christmas Vacation now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
And
yeah.
I mean, there's so many famous scenes in that movie. I mean, there's just so many, but I remember it was always the getting the mouth washed out with soap. That was
Oh, I
huge.
remember
It
that,
was like,
yeah.
oh, fuck.
Fudge.
Except I didn't say fudge.
Yeah, exactly.
And because it was when they were changing the tire, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
knocks the hubcap with all the lug nuts
The lug
in
nuts,
it.
yeah.
And it's so long and dramatic.
It's like slow motion, yeah.
Yeah, and then he has to get his mouth washed. Okay, question. Did you guys ever get your mouth washed with soap?
Didn't.
I didn't.
don't think so.
I was threatened.
Yeah.
But not
Yeah.
really. Like, I didn't have a bad mouth, but I mean, that would be a fun little
I remember
threat.
getting threatened with that too. You know what I did one time? I actually, like, just to see what it was tasted, what would happen. I tasted the soap just to see.
How was it?
Not good.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. I'm sure at some
Yeah.
point I've tasted soap, but
Yeah.
definitely
No,
not.
I mean, I never. That was, I mean, as a Gen X kid growing up, that was a threat.
It was the threat.
Oh, yeah, no,
Same with the
You
wooden
swear the
spoon
soap
in the
comes out.
drawer.
Wooden spoon
Oh
or
yeah, the
something.
wooden
yeah.
spoon.
I never got hit with the wooden spoon, but I'm just saying that was a
No,
threat.
I just got
Yeah.
hands. Never. I cut
Yeah.
hands.
You got hands, little Steve.
But, I definitely got spanked, but never.
I mean,
Yeah.
some of the
wooden
shit we
spoon
did, we probably deserved to be spanked, but
But yeah.
I mean, not really, but you know what I mean.
No,
but,
yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, there's a lot of scenes. Then there's the tongue on the thing.
Oh,
That's-
yeah.
Oh,
kid-
the frozen tongue
The triple
on the
dog
swing
dare
set.
to
But
lick
that
the, yeah.
even now that makes me like, ugh,
Oh, yeah. Get
salivate.
stuck
Yeah.
to it, yeah.
Or it's the not swing set. It's a pole. It's the hydro pole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something,
Here's the thing, though. Did anybody ever try that as a kid? Because I did.
You did?
I never got.
Did
I was
you?
too scared to leave it. I'd be like,
I don't know if I ever did, but I know I've definitely, whether it was something cold, I remember getting
Yeah.
my tongue stuck to it, but not like to
Well,
that extreme.
No.
I tried it because I didn't know if it was really a thing.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I remember, but I would just do the little like, it didn't get stuck.
Yeah, but I think you can just pour some water on it and be fine.
yeah.
But it's,
But it was kind of one of those weird Gen X fears growing up. You're going to get your tongue stuck to
no,
a
yeah,
phone.
well, 'cause
Yeah.
there's movies like that where
Yeah.
the kids like
Yeah.
screaming, oh, help me.
Yeah.
This movie's full of like parental fears, put on their children, right?
Yeah.
Like sticking your tongue to something cold.
Yeah.
They'll shoot your eye out with a
Yes.
BB gun.
Yeah,
Yes. And then
that's
he did
right.
shoot his eye out, didn't he?
Well, he broke his glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he almost, yeah.
He thought
No.
he did. He's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I shot my eye out.
Yeah, it
And
happened.
one of
Yeah.
my favorite scenes is like, not one of my favorite, but like one of the scenes that stands out too is like the whole Christmas morning scene where aren't the mom and dad like drinking wine,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
smoking
people
their
joke,
cigarettes,
they're having wine at like 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
smoking their cigarettes.
Well, even just
yeah.
the parents in general. The dad, I'm totally forgetting his name, the actor, but he did a great job of
He was
like the
good.
kind of curmudgeonly old
50s.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Dad, yeah.
Yeah, no, they did a great job. The parents and stuff like that.
Just one of those grumpy old wartime dads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
he had like even the bully and Scud Farkas or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
and,
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember the little his sidekick's name.
Yeah.
He looked like he looked like a mini version of the lead singer of AC/DC.
Angus Young.
And-
Or, Brian,
Brian Johnson.
yeah.
And then we have the whole lamp. That's
Yeah.
iconic.
The leg lamp. Yeah.
Yes.
That's iconic now because like
Oh
they
yeah,
sell them.
you
Like
can actually
that's,
buy that land.
Exactly. And it's in commercials now, too. Like,
Yeah.
go on.
so refresh my memory because clearly I don't remember movies properly. That was he didn't buy it on
He
purpose.
won it.
He won
He
it.
won it, right?
It was a
Okay.
major award.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of turned into this whole thing
Well, they
like.
got like, what the hell? It's the tackiest lamp you.
Yeah.
But they kept it up because they got into a fight about it.
Well, because it was the
Yeah.
dad was like so proud of it because he
Yeah.
won it. Remember, it's a fragile. It's from
Fragile.
it's from Italy or something
Yeah.
like that.
He misreads fragile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was in the front window, right?
Well, yeah, he's
Yeah.
gonna put it on display, but the mom
The old man
hated it
loves it.
because it's like
It's a
leg
leg.
with like a fishnet stocking.
Very
on.
racy
I
in the
know.
50s.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
just racy, also super tacky.
I kind of
Remember Ralph's reaction when he like sees it in the window?
Yeah,
He's like feeling up the leg.
Yeah, it's like this weird, like he's like a 10-year-old kid.
10-year-old
Like,
kid's like,
I don't know how to
"Whoa."
feel. I don't know how to
Yeah.
feel about this thing. Like
Exactly. He's like new feelings emerging.
yeah.
Well, one of the things of that movie, like again, talking to my mom about it, because like you said, it's when she was a kid, that
Yeah,
was her
yeah,
era.
that's sort of
but
what
like
they remember.
the whole like the eating the dinners together, like the Christmas march, and she's like, it was very accurate, like how they portrayed it, and kind of like.
Well, theirs
this-
all goes to shit too, right? They end up going to the
The Chinese
Chinese
restaurant.
restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'Cause
Yeah.
the dogs get in the house and ruin it all.
Yes, that's right. What was
The Bupkis dogs.
Yeah,
The Bupkis
the
family.
neighbors,
Yeah, the
yeah.
neighbors.
what was the younger brother's name?
I'm
Ralph. I don't
Ralph was the
remember.
no
main
Ralph
guy.
was
No,
the
Ralph was the main guy,
and, I
Can't remember. off the top of my head.
He
Can't
was the
remember.
one that was bundled up in that snake.
Yeah.
He looked like Maggie Simpson. He's like,
Yeah.
couldn't even like
You
move.
couldn't move. Yeah.
And then the bunny suit.
Oh, that's right. He gets it from his aunt or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like the tacky, like,
Yeah.
Because
pink rabbit suit.
in her
yeah.
mind, he's still like a 4-year-old kid.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have that relative that doesn't really know you but sends gifts. I had a relative like that growing up. I won't say what relative, but it was a relative and should have known us a little bit better. But they, we'd be like 7 years old and they drop off like, toys for like a 1-year-old.
Oh.
Like, no, but like literally.
Like a little like Fisher Price like thing.
Yeah.
Literally.
Like,
so
the thought that counts, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you.
Then it turned into a whole thing where mom's like, why don't you just, give money and I'll just buy stuff and wrap it.
I can give you some hints or something.
Because I felt bad because it was like,
because again, it's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't know if you guys did, but you all have that one relative that
there's
again,
always some you get and you're like, oh, this is from so and so. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Smile
boy.
and feign like, I love it. Thank you so much.
See, it's just the relative that should know you better.
Oh,
but
yeah.
This is all in the era before gift cards.
Exactly.
Yeah. Before that was sort of a thing.
Yeah.
But I love watching that. I like watching that movie with my mom. I mean, I haven't in many years, but my mom and dad really like that
it's
movie.
good. It still holds up. It's still it's funny. Like it's a well done movie. And then they redid it. Or no, they made a sequel to it on Netflix,
which I feel like is lame. I don't know. I never watched it.
It was. I've watched it. I watched it once. It was okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's something that came out a couple years ago, right?
Yeah. It was all right, but
not the same.
And it's also been like 20 years, so it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
Do you guys have a wait in that movie? Okay, about the whole like where he swears. Is that the whole? Did the dad say to him, "You have to tell your mom what you said"? Because I feel like that was Because remember,
but then the mom calls other people because he said he heard it from his friend. Remember,
Yes.
he rats his friend up. That's right.
Yeah, who didn't do anything.
Yeah,
but then the mom calls his friend's mom and says, "Do you know what your son said to my son?" And then
he gets
and she whispers on the phone,
and you hear her mom freaking out on the other side of the phone, and you hear the kid crying, "What did I do, mom?" And then he's getting smacked.
That's one of the funniest things in the movie because the mom on the other end of the phone, she's like losing her shit. She's like, wailing on the kid. He's like, "What I do? What I do?"
But wait, that is one of those things. Like when I was growing up, that was one of those things. Like if I did something really shitty or something like that, my dad would be like, "You have to tell your mom."
Yep.
Ooh, that was not good.
I did that. I remember dropping the F bomb. I told my mom to F off when I was like 9. I don't know why, but
and you had to tell your dad.
I did. And he did not like that at all.
Dad did not find that funny.
Nope.
Don't say those things to your mom.
Oh yeah, I don't even know what precipitated any of that.
Yeah.
But yes, I do remember.
Yeah.
Her losing it on me, and then I had to tell my dad what I said.
Ooh, yuck.
Didn't go over well.
Oh my god, did you guys just get that like nostalgic like anxiety fear?
Yeah, I remember having to walk into the kitchen and not
oh,
good.
you were probably shitting your pants.
Yeah, that was not fun.
Did you ever do it again?
Not out loud, probably. I had plenty of times. But
I'm sure your mom in her head told you to F off too plenty of times.
She probably still does.
So, I mean, but the fact that you didn't say it again, oof, that's a lesson.
Yep.
That is a lesson.
That was a lesson for little Steve.
That's back when we used to be like, and I say this like casually, not like literally, but that's when we had one parent that you're more afraid of than the other.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
For me, it wasn't that I was afraid of my mom, but my dad would just be annoyed at everything. And he would just be like, about everything. So we just ignored him. Whereas my mom, if she got angry, oof, that was a disappointment.
Oh, yeah. Same thing in my house, but parents reversed. Like my mom was our everyday disciplinarian.
Yeah.
And then if my dad got involved, we were in real deep shit.
And then that was the same thing. My mom would yell all the time. My dad... if he got mad, it's like, uh-oh.
That's the thing. In my house, it was always like, it was my mom.
Yeah. No, but there's always that one
that's the dynamic.
Always get, like, where it's so much that you can just kind of, it doesn't really have an effect.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Then the other one's like, uh-oh.
My dad used to try and tell us a whole bunch of shit we couldn't do, but it was my
that's
dad,
exactly why, because it's like, after a while, it's like, okay, we've heard this story before.
It becomes white noise.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, the dad's mad again.
Oh, my God. I am, like, clenching my hands and sweating thinking about like my mom being like because my mom wouldn't yell, she would just be disappointed and like what did they say, like you lost my respect.
Whoa. That cuts deep, moms.
Right.
That's way worse than yelling.
Lost my respect.
Add that to your therapist list.
That my therapy
silent anger, mom.
Yeah, exactly.
My therapy list, my bill's getting big.
That's right. It just keeps growing.
Boy.
It's all this Gen X trauma.
That's right.
Yeah, least favorite daughter.
Yeah.
lost your mom's respect.
Home invasions from movies.
Home
Invasions,
invasions.
that's right.
Jesus.
Oh man.
Tongue stuck to cold objects.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Just everything.
Oh boy.
Ugh. Oh my god, I'm like cringing though. I'm like ooh, squirming thinking about that. Isn't it funny how those memories come back and you can feel what you felt then?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Even though we're adults and our parents are old and like, you know, ugh.
Yep. Well, yeah, totally.
All right, you guys ready to move on to the last?
Yeah.
This is it. Number 5.
Well,
Ready?
the official
Number 5,
list.
number 1, whatever. It's
The
Yeah.
official list. We may
Yeah.
have some honorable mentions, but this one is probably a weird, like, little cult classic. May not have heard of it, may not, but I don't know.
Krampus.
No.
Oh.
One Magic Christmas.
Oh.
Yes, One Magic Christmas. Yeah, I had not thought of that movie in forever, but
'Cause this-
Kelly was this was Kelly's big pick
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
she was like, this
yeah,
has to.
I have a lot of nostalgia with that movie.
I had seen bits and pieces of this movie, but this movie came out in like the 80s, right?
like, I think probably like early-ish 80s.
Yeah, so
85,
I
86.
had seen it like bits and pieces a long time ago, but we all watched
We
it.
watched it
Yeah.
again with a couple other ones. We watched that Die Hard and a few other ones, yeah.
Yeah.
So this movie, I don't know if it's more nostalgic. Like, it's a Disney movie. It used to be on like Sunday Night Disney
Yeah.
or whatever. But the nostalgic part, like, it's all filmed in Canada, and they don't hide that fact.
Stars a young Mary Steenburgen.
Ooh.
It's not, the movie's not like when they're in the movie, they're not in Canada, but it's filmed in Canada. And like I said, they don't try and hide it.
Oh,
they had
yeah,
a
yeah.
small
No, no.
budget, so I'm like,
Well, it's
oh,
all
look,
Canadian stores there
yeah.
and stuff like that, and it's, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my one big takeaway from this movie. Like, it looks like it's from the 80s. Like,
Oh yeah.
when they make things like retro, like they make a show or movie today,
Yeah.
they want to make it look retro 80s. No one's houses look like that.
No.
Oh,
No,
right?
they're not like all neoned out and like,
Exactly.
you know, like this weird sort
It's
of
like-
Back to the Future-ish.
Yeah.
What they think
It's the
80s.
yellow kitchens, the olive green,
The- like
The beige phones.
Yeah.
the Afghans,
Yeah.
and like all that kind
It
of stuff.
basically looks like the house from the Connors in
So
Yeah.
Roseanne.
So really quickly, because I don't think a lot of people out there have heard of this movie, just super general synopsis is
Yeah.
this family. They live in a town where it's, you know, everybody's working hard and doesn't have a lot of
What's
money.
the
and
80s?
it's
Times are
80s.
tough.
Yeah.
Recession
So times
and
are
stuff,
tough.
yeah.
They're all struggling for Christmas for whatever. The mom works at a grocery store. The dad kind of just piddles. I don't really know
He
what
was
he does.
laid off, and
He
now
was
he's
laid
trying
off.
to open up his own bike shop.
Shut up, Eric.
Really random.
So
I
they
thought it was
have
funny so the dad piddles.
So they have two. Wait, let me just get through this quick. They
Sorry.
have 2 kids, and the mom's a grump because she's busy. She's overworked. She's tired. She's stressed. She doesn't know how to give her kids Christmas. She's kind of like a Grinch. She doesn't really.
Yeah,
know
She has no
she will never
Christmas
say
spirit.
Merry Christmas.
No.
Yeah.
Because she just is like, this is just another thing
Yeah.
I have to worry about. The
Yeah.
dad's more into Christmas. The kids are into Christmas, whatever. The dad tragically dies. And I guess the whole thing is there's this guardian angel guy, this weird, creepy guy in a
This
trench
is a
coat.
terrible recap.
Then you recap it. Why are you guys always so mean to me?
I'm
recap
not giving you
it
a hard
then. Go.
time.
Recap
No,
it.
keep going.
Anyway, there's this weird guardian angel guy. Anyway, she's anti-Christmas. She's tired. She's overworked. She's stressed. She's a typical 80s mom. And the dad dies in a horrible murder. I mean, that's what it is.
Bank robbery.
Yeah, he gets
Bank
shot
robbery.
right in front of her.
Yeah.
No, it's terrible. It's tragic. Then there's this whole. We don't need to get into details. But then the angel. I don't even remember. Now you've made me all self-conscious.
Oh no! Remember the bank robber? He steals like the Mary Steenburgen's car with the kids in the back seat.
You know, but I was trying not to be
Yeah.
too detailed because I didn't
Oh.
want to annoy everybody. But okay, Eric, you finish the
Okay,
synopsis.
so then so he steals the kids in the car and he drives off a bridge, and then but the guardian angel like saves them, but. For like a day or so, Mary Steenburgen thinks she's
Her
lost
whole
her husband
family.
and her kids are dead.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why I'm laughing. It's horrible.
It's a very weird movie.
That scene took a real dark turn for about 10 minutes, and I'm like, what the heck? This is a lot happening in 10 minutes.
Yeah. So basically, like I said, the whole long and short of it, Mary Steenburgen has given up on Christmas. There's a guardian angel sent to watch over her from Santa
Yeah.
to basically get her Christmas spirit back again.
Yeah.
And he kind of works with the kids, her kids, to help win their mother love of Christmas back.
Yeah.
And they do that by the kids get kidnapped, her husband gets murdered in front of her, and those two things bring back her Christmas spirit.
and then the
the
husband comes back.
And then because of that, they go back in time, and the husband's fine, the kids are fine. It's
Okay.
a completely
Wait.
far, and that's exactly the movie is absolutely crazy.
It's bonkers.
It is great for nostalgia. It is effing terrible.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
It makes like zero sense.
It does. It's
It's
like
terrible. It was an awful movie. I can't believe it. I thought it was absolute shit. It made no sense. She literally her husband gets shot right in front of her, and she doesn't even care. It's
Well, she has to get her kids.
But she didn't really care that their kids are kidnapped and drove off a bridge.
Look, it's not like-
She has no spirit.
Wait.
You guys need to watch this movie. It is nuts.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait. Let's revert back for a second because I didn't go on that big of a rant about Die Hard. I could have, but I contained myself. But Steve just went in. Look, it's not a great movie. It's terrible acting. It's low budget movie.
Yeah.
but
But
I
Harry
think.
Dean Stanton is the
Is the
Gideon.
Gideon.
But
the
wait,
guardian
I
angel.
think if the takeaway from this movie is like, for me, it's like, obviously I wasn't an adult in this time, in this era, but like I grew up in a house where, you know, I had parents that kind of struggled like these parents,
Oh,
where it's
absolutely.
like Christmas is tough and the moms are just super stressed because let's be real, whether it's true or not, at that time, like a lot of that shit fell on the moms.
Yep.
They had to get the presents, they had to do the dinners, they had to make the kids are having these kids wanting gifts from Santa. We all know that, you know, mom helped Santa get those gifts.
Yep.
Like, it's just a lot of stress. So I think, like, for me, the nostalgia of the toughness of the 80s and stuff, and I get why she was so, like,
Oh, I
closed
totally
off.
get it. I just think it's crazy that her husband got shot in front of her. What is going on in this
not.
movie?
It was
just
so
absolutely
crazy.
And then that same guy, he steals their car and then drives it off a bridge and lands in a river and
It's
it sinks with the
not-
kids in the back. It's like,
Yeah.
what is going on right now?
It's not good writing. They had to have a tragedy to make her come
But,
back.
like, it's just crazy.
I think it's just setting a lot of kids up for disappointment as well. Like, you know, Santa can't bring your dead dad back. I'm sorry.
yeah,
like,
but that's and then they bring the dad. It was just
Yeah.
it was just bonkers.
Look.
I'm like, what is going on in this movie?
Yeah.
Because and it took forever for that to happen.
I remember it
Well,
happening
you
right at the
mentioned
beginning.
that there was someone dying, so I was kind of expecting it to happen.
I
like,
thought it did.
but it happened like a half an hour into the movie, and then it just like
yeah.
happens. It's just like, what is
I
going
like
on?
it. I don't know. I normally don't like movies from the early 80s because of
Well, that's
olden
you always
days.
crap on anything that's too quote unquote old.
Yeah.
This one
But
for
I
you is
like
fine.
this movie, and I think it's because I remember, again, it's all about the nostalgia. I remember being a kid watching this movie with my dad.
Well, I mean, watching it too, like it looks exactly like I remember my childhood
Oh,
at home.
yeah. Oh,
Sort of
exactly.
looking at our
Oh,
friends
yeah.
or families' houses, like for all that, like the style, the
Yeah.
clothes, like even the stores they go to.
Yeah.
I'm
They
trying
went to Nectals, which is like a small town grocery
was
store.
There,
Yeah.
was there an A&P as well in there or
Again,
something like that? Or-
totally Canadian. They
There's a
didn't-
couple, but it's all Canadian. So
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It completely looks
Yeah.
and feels Canadian. I mean, they're wearing,
Yeah.
wasn't one guy wearing a Blue Jays
Yeah.
hat and stuff like
Yes.
that? Like,
Yeah.
But it's not
it's just
supposed
filmed like
The guy that played Casey Jones in the Ninja Turtles movies.
That's
Yeah.
right. He's like
Yeah.
the weird brother-in-law or uncle or
But
something.
it's not supposed to be in Canada. It's just
No,
weird.
it's supposed to be like in small
Yeah.
town USA, but it's shot in like just outside of Toronto somewhere.
It's like north a little bit, but I don't
Barron,
know.
Ontario or something.
Maybe
Meaford.
it was near Owen Sound.
Was it
maybe-
Meaford, yeah.
Maybe this movie is your Die Hard. I don't know. I like it. It was nostalgic. I had to fight for this on the list. We made a compromise. Die Hard and One Magic Christmas went on the
Yeah,
list.
because I don't think I'd ever seen that movie. I mean, I'd heard the name, but it didn't. Watching it, none of it reminded me of anything I'd seen
I
before.
recommend you guys, if you want to, was it on Disney Plus?
Yes.
Yes, it was on Disney Plus.
Check it out on Disney Plus. And I mean, again, go into it knowing it's very low budget, not great acting. It is what it is, but it's very nostalgic for me. I don't know. I thought
Oh,
it
I
was
mean,
really
it's
good.
completely like, yeah, I mean, total 80s, like personified, like, but the real 80s, like the 80s we remember, not this like weird glorified,
glammed up 80s.
glammed up Hollywood version
Yeah,
of it. Yeah.
and Mary Steenburgen, I never know how to say
Steenburgen.
Yeah.
Steenburgen, she did a really good job of looking and like the portraying of stressed out, overworked, tired mom. She did a good job of
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
I'd be curious if look up that was like her first like
It had to be close to
that's
it.
gonna be one of her first acting roles because she's pretty young in that thing. Yeah,
Well,
Definitely
and-
pre Ted Danson.
yeah,
yeah.
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 Okay, so clearly, I don't know, Eric, were you as much of a non-fan as Steve?
I just thought the movie lost all weight when the dad came back at the end. I'm like, oh, so the major like plot point of the movie here, like just
But
Yeah.
it just got diminished.
It's
The only way she
magic-
could get her Christmas spirit back was to shoot her husband in front of her. So that's the only way she could get her Christmas spirit was to murder her
No,
husband
wait.
in front of her and drown her kids.
maybe the message is
And now she'll like Christmas.
maybe
Yeah.
it's no, but maybe it's the messages is like that made her realize that life is short and she shouldn't spend it being cynical about everything and embracing the
No, I
moment.
think that's what it did. But I'm just saying that's a hell of a way. That's a very serious
Yeah.
well,
message.
sometimes people have to have hard lessons in
I
life.
think the message is don't be pragmatic. It's all wrong. Like early on in the movie, she was very like tight with the budget. She didn't want to give money to her husband for his bike shop or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then after he comes back from the dead, here's $1,000 for your bike shop. Do whatever you want. I don't
Well,
care.
because-
I don't care anymore.
well,
Yeah.
because she almost lost him forever. So does
they
it
should
really
do a fast
matter?
forward 5 years later. How's that bike shop doing?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have any joy in your life, do you?
I agree with Mary Steenburgen. Version 1.0 from the beginning of the movie.
Okay, because we did it for every other movie. You guys have to pick your favorite or / most laughable scene. Go ahead.
Favorite scene? Oh, geez, I don't even know. It was all over the place. I'll go with the scene where she tells her boss that she quits.
Yeah, that's
she
a good
just quits
scene.
on the drop of a hat. It's like, good for her.
Oh, I think it's everyone's kind of fantasy at some
What
point
about
in time in their life.
Working at the grocery store she hates.
Yeah, being
Yeah.
treated like garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I like the hockey puck through the window.
Yeah.
For the fact that I'm like, oh, that looks like kids playing street hockey when I was a kid. I'm like, I
Yeah,
remember all
that's
that.
right. I forgot
Oh
about that.
wait, we also have to talk about, for those of you in Canada, if you know, you know, but a young Sarah Polley had
Oh,
a
yeah.
That's
cameo.
right. A young Sarah Polley.
Like, what was she, like 5 in that movie? Like, she
Must
was
have,
really
must have
Probably,
been.
yeah.
Yeah.
She was little, yeah.
She was super little, but if you know, you know. Rose Avonlea, Canada.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
God, if you're Canadian, you have to know.
Rose Avonlea, that's right.
I
She's
used
done
to
a lot
watch
of stuff
that.
since then, but yeah.
She turned into a very, like, you know, she's a
Does,
very
like,
artsy.
she's
now
a director now, yeah.
But she's like super artsy and like her.
Yeah, she
you
had a
know.
hell of a career, but
Yeah,
it's
she's
funny
like
because I remember we were watching, like, is that Sarah Polley? It's like, holy shit, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
But yeah, she's probably like 5 or 6.
Yeah, she was
She was
really
their
young.
friend next door or something like that, right? Their daughter's friend.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
gave the bike to.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah.
What was with them and bikes in this movie?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. It was the 80s. What else was it? Wasn't like there was
No, I
like
know, but the
Nintendos.
dad's his
Bike
bike
shop
shop was
and-
his dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I don't know. I don't
Anyway,
really
yeah.
have a favorite specific scene in that movie. Like, I think just overall, like, I don't know. It's just I don't even know why I like that movie.
But this is
probably.
like for you, like you sort of said, this is just a nostalgia one. Like you
Yeah.
said, your dad, you said your dad you watched a lot, so it's just like more of
Yeah.
a nostalgic
I don't know.
movie.
Yeah.
Not so
It's
much it's a
weird.
great
It's-
movie. It's just
and
Yeah.
I don't.
It's got extra feels for
Yeah.
that reason.
And full disclaimer, like, I don't watch it every year, but I do watch it occasionally. But, like, I don't know, maybe I just relate with, I mean, and I am not trying to compare my childhood to the, you know, the movie's obviously exaggerated,
Well,
but just
yeah.
like the, you know, the tough times growing up. Looking back now, knowing when I was a
Yeah.
kid, my parents, you know, made sure we were always happy and stuff. But looking back, it's like, you know, your parents
Yeah.
have job losses and all that and all this. I can't even imagine the stress. So,
oh god, no, I know my parents. Look
Yeah.
back on like because you know my sister and I have talked about that. You know, yeah, my parents went through some really really tough times. You know, my dad was in a really really bad car accident when I was a kid and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I said, you know, at Christmas we never went without. We always
No.
had stuff, and yeah,
But
how
now-
my parents did it all the time. I don't know
But
to this day, but
now being an adult and looking back to a lot of those memories and like, can you just imagine probably behind closed doors, like just the stress and the tears and the, you know, what are
oh
we
yeah,
gonna do?
oh
my
I
God.
can only imagine. Yeah. No, I know 100%. Yeah,
Because I guarantee you, we had some great Christmases where I think it was, you know, quote unquote easy. But then
Yeah.
there's those Christmases where I'm sure my parents were, you know, my mom was crying, being like, how the hell am I going to, you
Yeah.
know, find $20 to buy a Christmas gift? But they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
No, and that's why I said to my sister and I said the same thing. You know, for all the struggles and strife my
Yeah.
parents went through, we never went without. So
No, it's crazy. And maybe that's why it makes me like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I kind of feel like I want to cry just thinking about that. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird mental connection thing for
Yeah.
me. And I don't know.
No,
Anyway.
and that's what I said. You kind of said that like off the get, like before
Yeah.
off camera, that you said like this movie is
It's
clearly not a.
No.
You know, if you're going to Google the biggest Christmas movies
No.
of
No,
1980, you're
no.
not going to see One Magic Christmas. But for you, it's just a nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
that's what makes a good Christmas movie.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were sort of saying at the beginning, it doesn't. We're not talking about like box office success
No.
or this or that. This is one that for you just speaks to you.
All right. Well, okay. So that was our list that we, you know, debated over. Just
Yeah.
kidding. It was a pretty easy list to curate.
Not so bad.
Yeah.
But okay, so each one of us, let's have a honorable mention of a movie that didn't officially make our list.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that. I know one we had talked about, and this is we sort of said whether it was a Christmas movie or not was Gremlins.
Oh,
Right?
that's
We were
another
talking.
one.
We had done about
Yeah.
that, whether or not
Yeah.
that's another one that's sort of like, is it a Christmas
I
movie?
think it's Christmas because it's at Christmas. It's a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. I mean, I've only seen that movie once. I really know, like,
I
Yeah.
agree. I mean, if Die Hard's Christmas, then Gremlins is Christmas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in the same vein where it's
Yeah.
all around Christmas. I mean, you know,
No.
Phoebe Cates' beautiful story about Christmas and Santa.
I
It's,
know where you're going with Phoebe Cates Beautiful there for a second, but I gotcha. Yeah.
yeah,
But-
her story about her dad and
In the chimney, yeah.
But
Well-
it's all Christmas. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like Die Hard. It's a Christmas movie.
this is another movie, like, and I know there's other movies like The Scrooge and all that kind of stuff
Yeah,
that makes the list,
yeah.
but I have no real, like, I don't think I've ever seen that one. But, like, one of the movies that kept making the list, and I'm not sure, like, I don't think would technically be Gen X. I don't know. But Elf kept making the list.
Elf's solid.
Was
Elf's
that
solid. I mean,
early? Was that 90s or early 2000s?
That's like the 2003 or 4, I
Yeah,
think.
that's like
It's-
millennial. I would
yeah,
feel
see,
like.
that's always that weird, like, where does a Gen X movie stop versus millennial?
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, Elf is fantastic.
Elf's a good
That's
one.
another one I watch every year.
Yeah.
I know we talked about it previously, but, like, Bad Santa.
Oh,
Bad
yeah.
Santa,
But again,
damn.
it's not a movie we watch as kids, but,
Yeah.
in our 20s,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they were fantastic. I'll still watch both of those
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
every Christmas because I think they're great.
For me, honorable mention, you just touched on it quickly, was Scrooged. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. I've
With
never
Bill
seen
Murray.
that.
It's so good. It's based on like the Ebenezer Scrooge
Yeah.
Christmas Carol
I'm not
story.
a Bill Murray fan, so.
But it's such a good movie.
See,
But Bill Murray's hilarious in it. Like,
yeah,
it's
no,
got
he's
it's got
great.
a little heart in there too. Like
Did you watch it as a kid?
I did.
The one I watch every year, and I know most people don't even know it or like it. I still watch a Very Merry Christmas, the Netflix one.
Oh,
It's like a
man.
weird kind of musical thing. I came out
Yeah.
a couple years ago. I watch every Christmas. I like it. There's a song on there that I Alone at Christmas. I think it's great. I have it on my playlist.
I guess nostalgic wise, like when I'm thinking of Christmas movies that were on our original list, it's
Yeah.
more movies that we watched as a kid that we sort of still watch now.
Yeah.
I can't think of any, full disclosure, I never have seen Miracle on 34th Street or Scrooge. Like I've never watched any of those movies. So they
Yeah.
don't, I'm sure for a lot of people, they're like nostalgic because they watch them all the time. But for me
Those
now-
are like classic.
Yeah.
But there was
again,
remakes.
they did remake Miracle on 34th Street in like the early
90s.
90s.
It
I
had
think.
that little girl in it that was a Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, I can't think of her.
She was in all that shit back then.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Was it Matilda? No, she was
Matilda.
in
She was
Matilda.
in- she was in Matilda, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. I know her name. It's going to bother me, but
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like A Miracle on 34th, like we're talking like White Christmas stuff. Like those
Yeah.
are not.
It's a Wonderful
Those,
Life.
It's a
all
Wonderful
those
Life. Those are
classic
not
movies.
the original Christmas Carol. Like those aren't Gen X per se.
No.
Why? When did they come out?
Like the
Like
30s.
the 30s and
40s,
40s.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ew, no, I'm not watching movies at all. But like remakes of it.
But they did some remakes of them and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but it's weird though because that's where it gets harder too. Like we watched those were all on TV and stuff as kids,
Yeah.
but they're not really Gen X per se, even though we saw them as kids.
Yeah.
For me, like the way I'm categorizing this sort of like discussion is
Yeah.
what I just said was
Stuff
movies
that,
that I
yeah.
watched as a kid growing up that I still watch now.
And also, they all kind of came out at that time too, right?
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
in the early 80s, the 90s. These were new movies, so they were
Yeah.
sort of Gen X. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, there's a ton of Christmas movies always. I mean, and just really quickly before we end, I'll talk about ones that are not Gen X that are like newer. But one of the ones that I have to watch every year, I have to watch Christmas with the Cranks. Don't at me. It's a good movie.
We sort of mentioned that, like, that's on AMC, like,
I don't even know why it's
all
a good
the
movie.
time.
It's so stupid.
Is it Tim Allen in the Speedo for you?
No, it's such a stupid movie. Like Jamie Lee Curtis's role is just so weird. It's so awkward and almost kind of cringy. But like I have to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also have to watch another one, which Eric hadn't watched, but I made him watch it last weekend. Was
Yeah.
For Christmas.
Yeah,
Eve.
Yeah, it was my
remember
first time watching that one.
It was funny.
With Vince Vaughn and Reese
Reese
Witherspoon.
Witherspoon.
It's a
Yeah.
good movie. I watch that every year. Another one I don't watch every year, but I still like it, and I consider Christmas because it happened at Christmas time. Was Just Friends. Love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the Ryan Reynolds,
Yeah.
Amy Smart movie.
I swear.
That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
That was at Christmas. Yeah.
Is that
I forgot. I always thought it was Valentine's Day. It was winter in that movie.
No, because he goes home to his hometown for Christmas. and that's where-
okay.
And she works at I just love it. I just
Yeah,
love that
I kind of
movie.
forgot about that.
Anna Faris, not a fan, but she's good in that movie.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
who's it? Is it Chris?
Amy
Chris
Smart.
Klein? No, the guy from
Chris Klein,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's in
Oz
it.
from
Yeah.
American Pie is in it too,
So
right?
that's another good
Yeah.
movie that I watch every year. But what are do you guys have any other movies like that?
No, for me, it's like I'd watch the Home Alones,
Mm-hmm.
Christmas Vacation. I'll watch a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, A Very Merry Christmas. I'll definitely watch that on Netflix at some point. And I like to try and watch It's a Wonderful Life. I like to watch that on Christmas Eve sometimes. It'll be usually that's on.
It's almost always on Christmas Eve.
It's on
Yeah.
in the evening.
Yeah.
So usually I try and catch at least a little bit of that
Is
too.
that the every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that one. And then I'll also watch the Alistair Sims A Christmas
My
Carol.
dad,
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah,
dad's
that
favorite
one's always
movie.
on.
That was always on Christmas Eve as
yeah.
well.
Is that
Yeah.
black and white?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
yeah.
dad loves that one. That's
Yeah,
like his
that's my
favorite.
dad. That was a big one for him too.
Yeah.
There's like other couple ones like the Charlie Brown Christmas and stuff like that, but I never really. My mom likes that, but I never really watched.
No,
it.
I
like
yeah.
that one.
I don't mind it, but
Yeah.
I like the music from it. I
Isn't
have
it
that on my
sad?
playlist.
It's really, it's a little sad, I guess.
It's Charlie Brown's always kind of like
melancholy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's always a upside to it.
How
and
old
Yeah.
are they
but
supposed to be? Like kids?
Six or seven, I guess.
Oh, they're like kids?
They're kids, yeah.
Yeah, they're kids. Yeah.
Oh, well, they're very dramatic for kids.
I think that's why the cartoon was like funny. It was kind of a juxtaposition. They're kids, but they're acting like more like
Yeah.
serious.
Like
yeah,
they kind of have real adult
Problems.
worries
like,
and
Yeah.
fears and
think
stuff,
about
yeah.
6-year-olds in your real life. Damn, they ain't
Yeah,
thinking like
no,
that.
exactly.
No, like what 6-year-old has a psychiatry like box outside their house.
I've literally probably never watched Charlie Brown. I don't know anything
That's
about
Lucy.
it.
You're very much like Lucy.
Am I? Is she the whiny bitch that nobody likes?
She pulls the football away from Charlie Brown and he tries to kick
That's
it.
right.
I mean, sometimes I do that, but I do it for fun. I do it for giggles, okay? Giggles.
kicks.
Charlie
Do it
Brown
for
loves
kicks.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway. All right, guys. Well, I mean, I just want to go watch Christmas movies now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Christmas getting closer and closer.
But comment below. Let us know what your favorite Christmas movie is.
Yeah, drop a comment.
I like to hear it. And I know, and again, I know we've missed a ton of them, but
Yeah.
like sort
Oh,
of
yeah.
what your nostalgic in the feels every Christmas you have to watch movie. Wow. Tongue twister. Anyway, that means I've talked too much.
Yeah, let us know your go-to Christmas movie. Drop it in the comments below. Drop us a DM at Gen X Unfiltered on Instagram.
We'll be there sometimes.
We'll see you there.
That's right.
All right,
right.
guys. Well, thank you so much for listening and watching, and we will catch you in the next. Oh my God! How do I normally do my endings? All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.
Take care,
Bye,
everybody.
Bye, everybody.
See you soon.
guys, and Merry Christmas.